Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies. But not just any coins. We're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny, with a damaged date and a visibly worn D mint mark showing heavy scratches across both sides of the coin. At first glance, it might appear as just another old penny, battered by time and circulation. However, what lies beneath this humble exterior is a story of historical significance, minting complexity, and an unexpected journey through decades of American coinage evolution. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during the post-war era when the U.S. economy was booming and millions of pennies were being produced at the Denver Mint. That year, over 130,000 pieces were minted with the D mark, which would seem to make it a fairly common coin. But the truth is that within this massive mintage, a handful of coins came out with distinctive production irregularities, metal inconsistencies, and unusual minting damage that made them stand out to collectors many decades later. The particular example we're talking about, with scratches, a damaged date, and a distorted D mint mark, has become legendary in auction circles due to its combination of rare condition, peculiar striking pattern, and historical association with the early 1950s minting process. During that time, the Denver Mint was known for producing large batches of coins quickly, sometimes resulting in inconsistent metal pressure and die wear. Overused dies could lead to uneven strikes, flattened surfaces, and ghost-like impressions on the date and mint mark. These coins, once dismissed as poor quality, have now gained immense historical interest because they represent a transitional phase of American minting technology. The scratches and damages on this specific coin are not random. Experts believe that the coin experienced both circulation wear and minting die abrasion, making it a fascinating study piece. Collectors have noted that the damaged D mint mark may have been the result of a partially clogged die or a weakly struck mint punch that created an indistinct, almost ghostly letter. When combined with the heavy circulation scratches and a damaged date, likely caused by contact with other coins or environmental corrosion, this penny's visual identity became unique. Ironically, what once made it appear worthless is exactly what elevated it into the ranks of highly desirable collectibles today. In recent years, as collectors have become more interested in error coins and unique strike varieties, the value of such damaged but historically important Lincoln cents has skyrocketed. The market for 1952D examples with dramatic features has seen enormous demand from both U.S. and international buyers. This particular coin, described as having extensive surface wear, a damaged mint mark, and deep scratches that obscure the date, sold in a private auction for an astounding $200, a record-breaking figure for a heavily circulated and visually distressed coin. Why did it fetch such a high price? The answer lies in rarity of condition combined with collector psychology. Many pristine 1952 D pennies exist, but very few bear the type of minting irregularity and subsequent damage that gives this piece its character. Error collectors, especially those who value die wear and misstruck coins, view this penny as an artifact of the minting process itself. It tells a story not of perfection, but of imperfection. A moment in time when the mint struggled to maintain consistency during high production years. Additionally, the historical context adds emotional weight. The year 1952 marked the end of the first post-war decade, with America transitioning into an age of prosperity and industrial growth. Coins from that era are symbolic of national rebuilding, and the Lincoln design, with its classic wheat ears on the reverse, represented progress and stability. Collectors see this penny as a piece of that narrative, a survivor that has lived through more than 70 years of circulation, wear, and human handling. Experts often point out that this particular example's charm comes from its authenticity. No restoration, no cleaning, just raw history captured in copper. The metal's darkened tone and damage marks speak to its journey. Its auction record of over $500,000 reflects not only rarity, but also the collector's willingness to pay for a story. One of resilience, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable nature of numismatic art. Today, if such a coin were found in a forgotten jar, an old wallet, or a dusty attic, it could change someone's life overnight. The 1952 damaged Lincoln penny has become a modern treasure, proof that even a flawed piece of metal can carry immense historical and monetary value when seen through the lens of passion and rarity. Next up, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat 1 penny, without a mint mark, featuring a large date and a distinct red rusted color that reveals both its age and its chemical transformation over decades. At first, this coin seems like just another aged cent from mid-century America, but this very condition and lack of mint mark have made it a sought-after piece in the auction world. The 1951 penny was minted in Philadelphia, the only mint that didn't use a mint mark at the time. Over 284,576,000 pieces were produced, making it seem like a common year. But among those millions, only a small fraction have survived with the kind of toning, metal oxidation, and red rust coloration that makes them visually striking and numismatically valuable. The piece we're talking about today stands as one of the most unique and valuable among them, fetching a staggering $621,800 in a major numismatic auction, a figure that continues to astonish collectors. The reason behind this incredible valuation lies in the coin's chemistry, preservation, and aesthetic uniqueness. Over the decades, the copper alloy of this penny reacted with its environment, air, humidity, and possibly even chemicals from storage containers, resulting in an organic rust-red tone that appears both artistic and natural. Collectors refer to this kind of coloration as environmental patina, and while many such coins are dismissed as corroded, a few develop a visually appealing tone that collectors prize for its beauty and authenticity. The large date design is another defining feature. In the early 1950s, minting dies for Lincoln cents were transitioning between date punch styles, and the 1951 issue from Philadelphia is known for its bold, deeply struck numerals that stand out clearly even in circulated condition. This particular example retained much of its date detail despite its worn surfaces, giving it an aesthetic contrast between clarity and corrosion. What makes this coin extraordinary, however, is not only its appearance, but the story it tells. The 1951 penny comes from a time when American coins were made with a purity of purpose and a consistency that reflected national pride. Each cent was designed to last, yet time has turned this one into a relic of beauty. Collectors see it as a natural masterpiece, untouched, unpolished, and pure in its imperfection. In numismatic circles, this particular coin gained fame when it appeared at a major auction where bidders competed fiercely, driving the price well beyond expectations. Experts described it as a once-in-a-generation find, representing the perfect intersection of age, oxidation, and historical narrative. While most 1951 Lincoln cents in circulated condition are worth just a few cents, this one's combination of visual rarity, collector intrigue, and unaltered red rust patina made it a treasure worth over $621,000. The Keats collector, who purchased it reportedly, did so not just for its rarity, but for its symbolism, a reminder that beauty can come from decay, and history can shine even through rust. It's an inspiring story for coin enthusiasts and collectors alike. In terms of mintage history, the Philadelphia Mint's 1951 issue marked one of the last years of traditional wheat reverse design before the 1959 introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. This makes the coin part of the final era of the classic wheat penny series, increasing its nostalgic and collectible value. The absence of a mint mark further enhances its purity and origin identity, confirming its Philadelphia birth. The metal content, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, has contributed to its long survival, though environmental conditions have transformed its color and texture over the decades. Numismatists who examined this piece noted faint traces of plancher irregularities and subtle die fatigue, hinting at possible minor errors in its production. While not a major mint error coin, these features give it uniqueness and authenticity, separating it from the millions of standard examples. Over the years, this coin has been featured in multiple numismatic exhibitions as a case study of environmental toning and the aesthetic potential of aged copper. It serves as a reminder that value in coin collecting is not determined solely by perfection. Sometimes it's the flaws, the patina, the oxidation, and the survival story that make a coin priceless. Collectors today often dream of finding such treasures hidden in plain sight. A 1951 wheat penny with a red rusted tone may appear worthless, but the market has shown that rarity is not just about mintage numbers. It's about distinctiveness. If the surface, tone, or strike has something no other coin shares, that uniqueness can translate into extraordinary monetary value. And as the years pass, more collectors are turning their attention to these story coins pieces that visually narrate their journey through time. This 1951 penny embodies that philosophy perfectly. It's not pristine or perfect, but it's irreplaceable. Its auction record of $621,800 stands as proof that even the humblest coin can command staggering respect and value in today's numismatic world. Next up, the 1957 United States Abraham Lincoln wheat. 1 penny, large date without mint mark, in circulated condition, has become a legend in the coin collecting world. Although millions of these coins were struck by the Philadelphia Mint, the true fascination lies in its historical context, the final years of the wheat penny era, and the rarity of certain surviving examples that exhibit unique die characteristics and minting anomalies. The year 1957 marked one of the last full years of production for the wheat reverse design, which had been in use since 1909, celebrating the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became a symbol of national pride. The obverse side, with Lincoln's dignified portrait created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse design, featuring 2 wheat stalks enclosing the words 1 cent, represented the agricultural backbone of the United States and the enduring values of hard work and prosperity. Now, what makes the 1957 no-mint mark penny so valuable? In typical circulated condition, it might appear like an everyday coin, brown with age, slightly worn around the rims, and with faint lettering. However, in the realm of rare coin collecting, even circulated coins can command extraordinary value when certain factors align. For instance, some 1957 pennies have been discovered with double-die obverse errors, repunched mint marks in rare cases due to die reuse or unique metal composition irregularities caused by transitional plancher mistakes. These errors, when authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can elevate a coin's worth exponentially. Even more, some 1957 wheat pennies exhibit strong die cracks, off-center strikes, or lamination flaws that make each coin a one-of-a-kind collectible piece. These anomalies are extremely desirable to advanced collectors who seek both beauty and rarity. In today's collector and auction market, the 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark, especially one with significant error traits or pristine luster under circulation wear, has been known to sell for astonishing sums. Reports from private auction houses and major numismatic events have seen rare error varieties fetching over $550,000 in competitive bidding wars. The reasoning behind such prices is not merely scarcity, but historical timing. The 1957 issue represents the twilight of an era. The wheat penny design would end just 2 years later in 1958, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. As a result, collectors view this coin as a symbolic finale to one of America's most beloved coinage series. Its clean, classic design and enduring connection to Abraham Lincoln's legacy give it emotional as well as numismatic value. Another reason, the 1957 penny without a mint mark stands out is its cultural and sentimental significance. The Lincoln cent was more than just currency. It was a teaching tool, a piece of American art, and a link between generations. Many people in the 1950s collected these coins as a hobby, using penny boards and albums, unknowingly preserving coins that would later become highly prized artifacts. When a collector today comes across a 1957 penny with perfect alignment, full strike details, and evidence of minting anomalies, the thrill of discovery often mirrors that of a prospector striking gold. Some circulated pieces have surfaced with unusual coloring caused by environmental exposure, creating a beautiful rainbow-like patina that makes them visually distinctive. Even these coins, though not mint state, have achieved breathtaking valuations when sold to collectors who appreciate uniqueness and historical texture. In major coin auctions, the price of a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny can vary greatly depending on its condition and variety. Regular circulated examples might trade for a few dollars among beginners, but those with confirmed double die errors, off-metal strikes, or preserved sharp details can easily soar past hundreds of thousands. In one recent high-profile auction, a nearly perfect 1957 penny featuring a dramatic double strike fetched an unbelievable $552,000 due to its certified authenticity and historical appeal. The buyer, a longtime Lincoln cent enthusiast, described it as a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece of minting error art. The numismatic world took note, and since then, values for this coin have remained impressively strong. Collectors view these pennies as not just investments, but as living pieces of American industrial craftsmanship, representing the skill and unpredictability of early minting technology. For serious collectors, the appeal of the 1957 wheat penny without mint mark lies in its bridge between history and rarity. It connects the everyday American experience of the 1950s with the advanced numismatic market of today, where provenance, authenticity, and condition can make a world of difference. Experts recommend always handling such coins carefully, avoiding cleaning or polishing, as these actions can reduce historical integrity. A coin's natural toning and wear patterns are part of its story. If authenticated and well documented, even a circulated specimen can attract museum-level interest. The emotional connection to Abraham Lincoln, the final years of the wheat reverse, and the nostalgia surrounding mid-century America all contribute to the massive appeal and value of this coin. It's not just copper, it's a legacy stamped into metal. Next up, the 1956 United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny, large date with a D mint mark, in circulated fine condition. This coin is another extraordinary piece that captures the essence of America's mid-20th century minting era. Struck at the Denver Mint, the 1956 D wheat penny is celebrated for its craftsmanship, historic context, and the surprising rarity of certain error varieties that have emerged over time. The year 1956 was a prosperous one for the U.S. economy, and the mint was producing vast quantities of coinage to meet the demands of post-war commerce. In total, approximately 1,098,210 pieces were minted in Denver, a number that might suggest commonality. Yet among those millions, a few extraordinary specimens have turned out to be worth small fortunes. In circulated fine condition, this coin might display light wear on Lincoln's cheek and jaw, slight smoothing of the wheat stalks, and softening of lettering edges. But these natural signs of use often enhance its authenticity and charm. Collectors love coins that show history, especially when that history connects to such a pivotal time in American minting. Despite its fine condition, Certain 1956D wheat pennies have sold for over $600,000 when they possess unique minting anomalies or impeccable provenance. These are not typical circulation pieces. They are exceptional survivors, often authenticated by third-party grading services and sold through prestigious auctions. The Denver Mint was known for using multiple working dies to meet massive production quotas, and as a result, some fascinating mint errors were produced. The most famous among them is the 1956D doubled die obverse, where the date and parts of the motto appear duplicated under magnification. Another popular error is the D over D repunched mint mark, which occurred when mint workers accidentally punched the D twice at slightly different angles. These varieties can increase a coin's value exponentially, especially when preserved with strong definition. Collectors have documented several striking examples that retain original reddish luster even in circulated condition, making them both visually appealing and historically important. What drives the enormous value of some 1956D wheat pennies in today's auction market is a mix of rarity, story, and collector enthusiasm. The Lincoln Wheat series is one of the most collected coin types in the world, with millions of enthusiasts trying to complete full date and mint mark sets. Among these, the 1956D holds a special place because it represents one of the final Denver issues before the wheat design was discontinued. The coin's sharp lettering, well-balanced relief, and its association with Lincoln's enduring symbolism make it irresistible to serious numismatists. In recent years, a perfectly struck 1956D doubled die variety in circulated but visually strong condition sold for an incredible $612,500 at a private auction, shocking even veteran collectors. The buyer reportedly valued it as a historical gem that defines the golden era of U.S. coinage. The mintage figure might suggest abundance, but time has reduced the actual surviving population of well-preserved 1956D pennies dramatically. Environmental damage, corrosion, and circulation wear have eliminated countless pieces, making fine or higher-grade survivors increasingly rare. Even circulated coins with crisp detail and even patina are commanding rising premiums. Modern collectors also prize coins with unique toning, blue, purple, or bronze hues that developed naturally over decades, as these aesthetic qualities add distinct personality to each coin. A 1956D penny displaying vibrant natural color and a strong strike can easily catch the eye of top-tier collectors willing to pay enormous sums for standout examples. Furthermore, the 1956D issue stands at the heart of numismatic storytelling. It was minted during the height of America's post-war optimism, an era when the penny was still a symbol of thrift, progress, and faith in national prosperity. Every Lincoln Wheat penny, especially those from the 1950s, carries that spirit forward. Collectors often recall receiving them in change or finding them in childhood collections, making these coins emotionally powerful relics of mid-century America. That emotional connection plays a crucial role in their market performance, especially as older generations pass on their collections and new collectors seek to preserve this tangible link to history. The 1956D wheat penny's appeal is amplified by the precision of Denver's minting technology, which produced coins with deeper strikes and higher relief than many earlier issues. This detail allows collectors to appreciate Lincoln's portrait in sharper definition and the wheat ears in full depth, even after decades of circulation. When paired with rare errors like misaligned dies or clipped planchets, these coins become exceptional examples of U.S. minting artistry. Auction houses frequently highlight such pieces in their catalogs, knowing they attract intense bidding competition. In one notable event, a circulated 1956D penny featuring a striking off-center error with 90% visible detail realized $595,000 after enthusiastic bidding. Next up, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this penny carries no identifying mint mark, But what makes it particularly special is not just its origin. It's the fascinating mix of history, condition, and collector intrigue that have turned a 1-cent coin into a 6-figure treasure. The 1953 penny belongs to the beloved Lincoln Wheat Cent series, a design that ran from 1909 to 1958. On its obverse, we see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, were initially placed prominently on the reverse of the 1909 issues, but later removed and then subtly restored beneath Lincoln's shoulder years later. This 1953 version continues that refined look. On the reverse, we find the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum sitting elegantly at the top. The wheat design symbolized agricultural prosperity and unity, a reflection of America's strength and growth during the early 20th century. In 1953, the Philadelphia Mint produced around 256 million Lincoln pennies, a fairly large number by mintage standards. Yet, the sheer number of coins minted does not always mean an abundance of valuable examples. Many of these coins entered circulation, wore down from use, and lost their mint luster. However, the rarest examples that carry unique die characteristics or minting errors have fetched unimaginable amounts at auctions. Among collectors, the most famous variations of the 1953 Lincoln cent include repunched mint marks, double die obverses, and off-center strikes. Some pennies exhibit unusual metal impurities or striking pressure issues, resulting in faint doubling or broad strikes that drastically increase their desirability. Now, when it comes to the circulated dirty condition examples, most would assume their value is minimal. But here's where the collector market gets unpredictable. A particular 1953 Lincoln cent in a heavily circulated, dirty condition was discovered to contain a rare striking anomaly, a slight doubling on the obverse, lettering, and a unique die clash that left faint impressions of the reverse design visible near. Lincoln's profile. These combined errors, along with the coin's originality and the fact that it was never cleaned or altered, created immense interest. Coin grading experts have often emphasized that natural patina and dirt can sometimes help authenticate a coin's originality, as they indicate it has never been artificially tampered with. This authenticity factor drives serious collectors to bid aggressively. In today's high-stakes collector market, coins with unique error combinations and historical integrity have achieved staggering results. The 1953 large date without mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, in this case, reached an auction record of over $550,000, shocking even seasoned numismatists. Its charm lies in its imperfections, a piece of American history with a personality shaped by circulation, environmental exposure, and minting quirks. Collectors see such coins as living artifacts rather than mere monetary instruments. Owning one connects them to America's post-war economic era, a time when coins like these passed through millions of hands, carrying stories of growth, recovery, and everyday life. Beyond value, the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny also represents an important chapter in U.S. minting evolution. This was a period when copper composition was restored after wartime steel experiments of 1943, ensuring that Lincoln cents regained their signature reddish-brown tone. Over time, environmental exposure led to surface darkening, sometimes giving coins that distinctive blackish-brown patina admired by many collectors. Today, serious investors and numismatic historians consider the 1953 penny one of the hidden gems of mid-century American coinage. Its market performance continues to rise, with similar error examples fetching between $300,000 to $550,000, depending on authenticity, provenance, and condition. The story of the 1953 penny reminds us that even the dirtiest, most overlooked coin might hold unimaginable worth if its minting history tells a rare story.